There's a pattern in American politics that just keeps repeating itself. And honestly, once you see it, you just can't unsee it. The loudest attacks on LGBTQ people keep coming from the exact same place, the people who are most terrified of being exposed. It's this stark contrast, right? Public outrage on one side and, well, private behavior on the other. So let's just get one thing straight right from the jump. This is not about gossip. It's not about who someone sleeps with. It's about a political strategy. It's about hypocrisy and shame being used as weapons, weapons to gain power and to pass laws that really, really hurt people. So, to really get what's happening, to understand all this political fear, we have to look under the hood. You know, we've got to look at the psychological engine that's driving all of this. It's a defense mechanism called reaction formation. And in plain English, it's pretty simple. When a person just can't accept their own impulses, they become obsessed, absolutely obsessed with attacking those exact same impulses in other people. It boils down to this: the louder the sermon, the bigger the secret. And look, that might sound like a catchy phrase, something that just feels true, but it's actually backed by some pretty startling scientific evidence. Yeah, you have to go all the way back to 1996. That's when its landmark study came out, and it gave us the cold, hard proof for this exact phenomenon. And what's so fascinating about this University of Georgia study is how they did it. The researchers completely bypassed what the men said. They went straight to the body's involuntary response. They literally hooked them up to sensors to measure physical arousal. And the results? The men who scored highest on the homophobia scale, they were the only group to show significant sexual arousal to gay male porn. Their bodies were telling a truth their minds just couldn't or wouldn't admit. Okay, so that's the psychological theory, right? From decades ago. Let's fast forward. Let's look at the modern, data driven evidence that shows the exact same behavior playing out today. And where do we find that data? Well, how about the Republican National Convention? Yeah, the so called Grinder Super Bowl. While the party's official platform was pushing all these anti LGBTQ policies, something very different was happening on the ground. An executive from Grindr actually openly called the RNC the app's Super Bowl. And look, the data is just undeniable. The area right around the convention center just exploded with traffic on the gay dating app. We're talking about a massive surge compared to a normal night. It was so big, it reportedly crashed the app's servers. Just how big was it? Let's put a number on it. During the 2024 RNC in Milwaukee, grinder activity spiked by 166% in one night. 166% above average. And it wasn't just Grinder. Pornhub traffic for gay content in that area also just went through the roof. And here's where you really see the core tension. Local users said the app just transformed and went from a grid of faces to what they called a ghost grid of anonymous, blank profiles and headless torsos. It's like a digital portrait, isn't it? Of men desperate for connection, but absolutely terrified of being identified, especially at a convention that's built on demonizing that very same connection. And this brings us to a really crucial point. This isn't just about a few guys being hypocrites. No, that hypocrisy is captured, it's harnessed, and it's used as a political tool. You have to understand, the hypocrisy isn't a bug. It's a feature of the whole system. It's not an accident, it's strategic. You manufacture a culture war, you pick a group you can demonize, and suddenly you have the perfect distraction from your own policy failures. And the shame they project onto others, becomes the exact tool they use to control their own people. I mean, it's a playbook, and it's a simple one. Step one, create a moral panic. Target a marginalized community. Step two, use that fear to unify your base and, of course, distract them from actual policy issues. And step three, the final step, you build a whole system where shame and secrets become a kind of currency, a way to keep everybody in line. It's using fear to make people vote against their own freedom. And in the world of high stakes politics, a system built on secrets like this, well, it creates an enormous vulnerability. There's a word for it, a Russian word, kompromat. It means compromising material, the kind of stuff you use for blackmail. I mean, just look at this quote. It's from an email from Jeffrey Epstein's brother. He's not asking about policy. He's not asking about money. He's asking if Vladimir Putin has sexually compromising photos of a sitting US president. At this point, we are way past talking about personal behavior. This is about national vulnerability. So it really forces you to ask the question, right? Is all this hypocrisy just some accidental flaw in the system, or is creating a whole class of compromised, controllable people the entire point? Because make no mistake, this political strategy, it's not some abstract game. It has a real, tangible, and absolutely devastating human cost. These moral panics, they don't just stay as talk, they translate directly into hundreds of anti LGBTQ laws. They lead to widespread book bans. They lead to the criminalization of identity in healthcare. We see a documented escalation in mental health harm, especially for young people. And the hateful rhetoric used to stoke these fears, well, it inevitably encourages real world violence. So, when you boil it all down, when you get past all the data and the studies and the scandals, you realize this isn't really about secrets. No, it's about power. Power pretending to be morality. It's a system that wraps itself up in the language of morality just to maintain control. And we can never forget that. These political games, these strategic lies, all of it has a price. And that price is always, always paid by real people. If you want deeper breakdowns like this, the history, the context, the receipts, head on over to reflectivembs.com. And hey, if this kind of truth matters to you, you know what to do. Like, follow, and subscribe.